I want my dress. I want it ravishing and elegant and to my ankles, with buttons from my chest to my ankles. I want my red robe. I am a queen. Ndiyinkosazana.
For me, I was young, very young still, and I remember feeling, knowing that there was something wrong, but not knowing exactly what it was. The people who I thought could protect me in my life were incapable of protecting me, and I had to rely on myself.
I was 6 when I was molested the first time, and it's taken me more than 2 decades to be able to talk.
The project came about as a result of my meeting Nondamiso at my solo exhibition, which was last year at the Lismore Associates Gallery.
Jenny and I started talking, and we realized that for us, the reason why we were disconnected from the world was because we had suffered these traumas when we were younger. There was this need for people to find ways to connect again.
It wasn't necessarily to do with the issue of rape and the problem that South Africa is faced with. It was more to do with the feeling that there was a lack of connectedness in society and the way people interact with each other. That if I wanted to really and truly produce something which would be impactful, I needed to tap into something that for me was very emotional. And that's how the Essays Dirty Laundry, the collection of underwear to produce an artwork came about.
When somebody takes off your underwear without your consent, it's that intimate part of your being that gets ripped away from you. It had to be panties and briefs and children's nappies.
I didn't think too much about it. I just put out the request on Facebook for people to donate underwear, and that's how the process started. I think the emotional journey that has come as a result of that is now coming to a point where I'm more comfortable talking about it and more comfortable interacting with people and more comfortable with knowing who I am as a result of all of that. But being on the streets in Maboneng, where we were hanging the installation, and just seeing people on the street stop and look at what we were doing, and taxi drivers stop their cars, wind down their windows and ask you, why are you putting up underwear? And then when you explain to them what it is behind this, and they're going, oh, okay, I get that. I'm going to tell people they need to come here and see this.
What Jenny and Nondamiso wanted to do was to strike up a dialogue. And as a journalist, there's nothing more that you can ask for than to have a dialogue. And as a gallery owner, that's what we're here to do. So the response has been incredible from the media, and it's been incredible from the public, who are just taking pictures and saying, what the heck is this going on the streets of Maboneng? And people are talking about it.
Realizing how open people actually are to hearing this and sharing, and also to children on the street who've come up and had a look at it. Initially they think it's kind of funny, but just being able to have a discussion with them about the fact that this is a problem in South Africa, and that they, as children, have a voice, has been, it's been an amazing, incredible, overwhelming experience, much bigger than I ever imagined. And I think its growth, its organic growth, is something which we hoped, or I hoped, would happen.
The piece begins before I even step out onto the street. It begins in the car with a cab driver who doesn't know why a woman in a wedding dress made of panties is sitting in his car. By the time I step out of the car and I'm outside on the street, I'm still scared, but I already feel a little bit braver because I know that there are people, just ordinary South Africans, who are actually willing to help when they understand what this is about. So doing the piece and seeing all of the different faces on the street, I felt safe. I feel like I'm held by this group of people who are here for a reason, people who are here because they also believe that this is important, people who, some of them, are also survivors like me. On the Line is about a woman going through the different stages of her life, from being a child to growing up and learning to become a woman, puberty, and to this big moment that is the pinnacle of a woman's life, which is the wedding day, when she's supposed to be all white and pure. And I always knew that it wouldn't be that for me because I wasn't pure. I wasn't pretty and unadorned by pain. So the underwear on the woman's dress is all used underwear. It's white, but it's used, so you can see the stains even more clearly. And that was the essence of why we created this wedding dress, because it's a moment that's supposed to be beautiful, but it's not. When I started off, I didn't know that I'd end up with so many different people's underwear on my body. And it's heavier than I can explain. It's physically heavy because it weighs about 45 kilograms, but it's immensely heavy because it's all of these people here.
She produced this incredibly moving experience in the street that is difficult to look at some points. Where I felt like I wanted to turn around and walk away. It said, and in an emotional, very personal way, what it is that I think so many people are feeling.
I wanted to look away. I was like done with it. I was like, I don't want to see this anymore. It needs to be over. It's long enough. And then all of a sudden I just stopped and I watched what was happening. And I started crying. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, wow, all this stuff started coming back to me that I hadn't thought about in years.
A woman says to me, you just performed what I go through every day. But when she said it, she looked into my eyes and we both cried. But it was a catharsis. It was a release. It wasn't a holding like we do when we're quiet, when we don't tell anyone, when you're alone. By the time the piece comes to its end and I start singing Nkosi Sikelel, the original version of the national anthem, and I'm naked, I don't feel that my body is in any harm. And I feel stronger than I have felt in my whole life. Naked in the rain with a group of people I don't know surrounding me. One of the things that we don't talk about is how it actually affects us every day, how scared you feel when you walk out of your house, and how hard you have to be in order to be able to brave through things that make you feel unsafe. And also how hard it is actually sometimes just to stay alive. But when you know that you're not alone, there's hope.
I have a friend, I have a cousin, and I have a sister, and they're all rape survivors.
I have friends and family who are rape survivors, and I myself am a rape survivor.
I have friends who are rape survivors. I am a rape survivor.
And I don't think a month ago I would have said on a stage in a room full of people that I was sexually molested. I just wouldn't have done it. And it's thanks to what Jenny and Nondumiso have pulled together and allowed us as a gallery and, you know, as a person to be involved with.
I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. I know many people who are survivors of sexual abuse. I know at least 3,600 people who are, because they've donated their underwear to this project.
I'm 1 in 3,600. But I know that there are thousands and thousands of other people, and I walk past them. Some I know, and some I don't.